candlelight. I guess today's episode is Nightcap. A little bit of wine. Try the wine. So my derby is on the way. I shall have an English derby, and I shall wear it. There's a Reuniti on ice. That's nice. Let's see, I've much left. Reuniti on ice. Those of you who remember that far back, those of you who are alive, you know what would be cool is if I had, like when a waiter pours your wine, he has a cloth. He has a cloth ready. I should have one. White sangria. I think sangria is wine in Spanish. Blanco sangria. Aromatized wine based. Oh, it's a wine based drink with natural flavors. Smells pretty good. It has some bubbles in it, like the Moscato. Now that I have a little money, I can go do things like that. Get my Sutter Home and Zinfandels. Oh yeah, it still tastes good. Yep, I'm gonna get these holes taken care of. I do not wish mouth holes. I do not wish teeth holes on anybody. Hi. Nays. And then there's Suko. Nays S Vlogs. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. We're having a nightcap. 14. We'll see how long that lasts. 16 viewers, gone right down to 6. A Reuniti. I'm going to buy more of this. I'm having a nightcap. My mommy has just gone to bed. She's in across from the living room, which I like. And she takes out her hearing aids. So I won't be interrupting her with loud noises. Soku Goku, but replace the G with a Soku. Soku. What time is it for me? It is 10:44. 10:44 p.m., which is 22:44 for people who do military time. 22:44. So it's late into the night, and I'm having some Reuniti. Hi there. Some message retracted. Have you ever watched Baywatch? My mom watches Baywatch from time to time. So I thought, why not dress up like one of the Baywatch lifeguards for Halloween? I got the Baywatch jacket and I already have the red shorts and I bought one of those flotation devices. So I will look the part. And then maybe when I go to the beach, I can I can look like I can do little videos of me dressed like a Baywatch character. And then I will have to do a legal disclaimer. I am not a lifeguard. Hi, I liked the vid DC. I like. Well, thank you. Thank you for appreciating the time I put in to making videos. Kristana. I wish the printing wasn't so small. I'm nearsighted, but the print is so tiny. Looks like Kristen 10-4 Tanfor. And we have NAYV Nav's Vlogs Nave NAY Nace Vlogs. Plus I have dyslexia. So I'm trying to read tiny letters. Hi and welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. We're having a nightcap. Reuniti. It's fruity. It's not bitter. I love the fruitier wines. I guess I'll be an example for people who wish to enjoy wines. Try the wine. I guess I'm a big Clockwork Orange fan. Hi there, my little droogies. Come with your uncle and hear all proper. Hear angel trumpets and devil's trombones. You are invited. I'm glad today I was lucky because there was a bathroom right where I needed it to be. I consider that a lucky day. I'm going to order me a new clown nose. This one hurts when I put it on because they have an edge. It's hard plastic. Well, it's medium plastic and it has an edge on it. They don't make it, I probably need to put some kind of cushion. They don't put a cushion on it. It just bites right into my nose. The longer it stays on my nose, the more it hurts. Ow, Charlie. My nose hurts. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. I love the way it sits on my face. It doesn't make my face look small. But damn it, what I need to do, what I can try to do is burn it. That's what I can do. Get it, just burn it a bit. Make it soft. Why do I have to drop my lighter? Why? I guess it stopped. I guess the chat stopped. I'm going to make this nose work. Even if I have to burn it. That might round it off a bit. Do what you got to do. Yeah, I just got to wait for it to cool down first. Yeah, that took the edge off of it. You like my turquoise lighter? Turquoise. It's turquoise. Share your streaming vid DC like the vid. Hello. I guess it's not broken. I guess the chat has not broken. Oh, that feels better. That feels so much better. Maybe I won't need a new clown nose. Now that I've rounded it off. Round off. Round off. Thank you for subbing. Muchos gracias. Mucho gracias. Spasiba bashoy. Spasiba bashoy. You know what? This just might work. It doesn't hurt now. That's what they should do in the first place. They should fix the mold. The mold has an edge to it. You know, when you pull it out of the mold, there's an edge, a sharp edge. They should recommend that you burn it a little bit. That's perfect. Clown nose. Oh, I got my hatchet chain. My hatchet chain is on the way. I'll be officially a juggalo. I think I broke my foot. How in the world did you do that? Let's pray for this person's foot. Pray for a full recovery. I could wear this in church. They probably asked me to take it off. It'd be funny if I sit in church, while I'm sitting in church, put on my clown nose, and see if my mom's pastor could keep a straight face. I also want to bring a clicker, because in Catholic Church, if you click, you have to stand up. If they click, you have to sit down again. Holy shit, I know you mean haha. I know you, man. Haha. We worked together in 2017, I think. Okay. You might know me because I did work in 2017. Holy shit, I think I know you, man. Well, maybe. It's a small world. I saw the same guy today at least 3 times. One time in Subway, one time at the park, and another time when I went to the bathroom at the park. Same guy. Steve does that. Ring the bell. Steve, does that ring the bell? We ate lunch together every day? I don't think so. I don't think I knew a Steve that I eat lunch alone most of the time. I remember, yeah, in 2017, I would eat lunch alone. For a while there, I would eat with my bosses. I would eat with my boss. We would go to restaurants for lunch. They were my lady bosses. No, we would eat together. Sometimes I think MA. You were funny back then. Well, thank you. It's nice to be remembered for being funny. Things kind of changed. People left. Possibly. It's nice to be known as being funny and not a jerk. Yeah, this is much more comfortable now. I have my very own clown nose. It doesn't hurt to wear. Oh, yeah. Smooth over the edges. Well, good to see you again, Steve. I wish I could remember what your face looked like. What like blind people, they have to touch your face to remember what you look like. Then in like 2019, you kind of faded away from the squad. I had to move. I had to move to Georgia. Were you in California? Because that might be a confirmation. Anyone seen Drew? No? I know you did. Okay. Let's take another swig of Reuniti. I just might finish this bottle tonight. Drew Peanuts. Your move. Are we in a challenge of some kind? Your move? Oh, it feels so good to sit up again. Again and again. Wow, I recommend that. That's a good flavor for a wine-based product. Yeah, it's definitely 2,200 hours, 2256. So it's almost 2,300 hours. Almost. No. Hope you are well. You mad people happy. Oh, I made people happy. Glad to hear that. You made people happy. Thank you for that. That's what I hope to do. It's Mike still around? Is Mike still around? Or Bill? I don't remember a Bill. I don't even remember a Mike. Not in California. Yeah, doesn't ring a bell. I have a brother Mike, but I don't know a Mike. Not in California. I was a recluse. Sometimes I would hang out with people, like at Fair Oaks Village. I was known for going there. And the Sunrise Mall. I would hang out at the Sunrise Mall. There was a guy there who had a cockatoo, and he'd have it on his head. Sarah, Allison, Chrissy, Mike, Bill, Alan. None of those ring a bell. Honestly. Damn. Maybe I have amnesia. I don't forget people. Especially when I've hung out with them. I don't forget where I've been. Maybe I'm wrong then. Possibly. Because I lived in California for 17 years or more. And I would hang around Old Sacramento when I wasn't working. I would K Street Mall. They tore down K Street Mall. That grieved me. They tore it down and made it into a stadium or something. I was there when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor. Oh, I need to order my Conan sword. I've been wanting a Conan sword. Conan the Barbarian. The Atlantean sword. I thought it looks like King Solomon's sword, kind of. And it's made to where you could put your hand on the blade, and then there's the rest of it sharpened. You gotta go. All right. You like that park. The park, man. Oh, they called it Chicken Park. The park I would hang out at. They called it Chicken Park because there was lots of chickens there. They had like a sound stage. I don't remember anybody ever playing on that sound stage. And then behind the sound stage, or no, to the right of the sound stage, they had another stage where they would have live performances. Have a great day. Liam, I guess Liam RL. Hey. Bob's Burgers Daily Special. Bob's Burgers. I didn't think that would take off. It's up there with Dog with the Vlog. Remember watching that? I think Disney had a show called Dog with the Vlog. It's weird how you never think a show would be popular. I remember they premiered Bob's Burgers. And I thought, what a dumb, you people need a hobby. But then it caught on. I also like King of the Hill. There was King of the Hill and Family Guy. Robot Chicken. Yeah. Bark. I think that's how it went. You know what? I have more fun when I start my show later, like later at night. I seem to have more fun. There's less kiddies asking to be mod. They either ask to be mod or they ask if I remember them. Like I have a memory problem. But they always show up with a different logo. I got a Bluetooth speaker, and it's supposed to have 24-hour battery power. I'm going to put it to the test because it ran out of battery power when I was at the park. I was at the park listening to my Bluetooth speaker. It said, "Power is low. Charge soon." Like it sounded like an Asian lady. "Power is low. Bluetooth power is low. Charge soon." And then it said no power. So that's why I bought a solar powered battery pack. So solar powered charger. Yeah. And I'm curious to see if it keeps going, which I hope happens because I like to spend time at the park, but I don't like it when my phone goes dead. My phone and my Bluetooth speaker. If I have a solar powered charger, I won't have to worry about that. Do you do any other racist voices? Racist voices? I was only sounding like the Bluetooth. She sounded like it's not racist, unless you're making fun of them, I guess. Who decides racist? It seems like black people decide what's racist, and women decide what's inappropriate. That's inappropriate. You shouldn't say, don't say that. That's inappropriate. And then black people say, that's racist. Your trees are racist. Dogs are racist. Everything's racist. Do you do an Indian voice next? You know what? I had an Indian yesterday. My bank shut my card down. I was trying to make a purchase and my bank shut my card down, and they said fraud protection. And the guy who picked up the phone was from India, and he says, I will transfer you now to a specialist. And then the guy says, hi, how can I provide you with excellent service? And I almost wanted to say, okay, thank you, come again. Like you ever watch Hardcastle? Wait a minute, there was an Indian guy, Hardcastle or White Castle. These guys go to White Castle to get burgers. But anyways, thank you. Come again. It kind of sounded like that. How can I provide you with excellent service? He said, well, you sound like a scammer. I don't want to really talk to you. You scare me. I don't know how good that imitation is, but I've been told I'm pretty accurate. Sometimes they have to relax their jaw when they're talking from Hindi to English. When they hold on, let me transfer you. Or they sound like they're from Russia. Hi, how can I provide you with excellent service today? I'm sorry that happened to you. And it seems like every tech support girl sounds like that. It sounds like even whether it's for my bank, whether it's something I'm trying to do, get set up, and my tech support person always sounds like a girl from Russia, the same girl. And it's like, first of all, I have to listen really hard so I can hear through their accent. Yes, they do sound like that. Do an Indian, okay, do an African accent next. You are really good at voices. My brother tells me that. And my mom, I came down the hallway and one of her friends' name is Sylvia. And Sylvia sounds like, hi, Judy. Hi, Sister Judy. How are you today? She's an African woman. So it's kind of like that. She might come from, where's that place? I don't want to say Mediterranean. She's Caribbean. She kind of sounds like she's from that area. Hi, Sister Judy. How are you today? That's good. And then she looks at me and says, take care of your mommy. Okay. Yeah, I like mimicking voices. I'm not making fun of them. I just have to do it. When I hear an interesting voice, I have to do the voice. It's like, no offense. Yeah, no offense. It's like I'm a raven or a crow. Sometimes they'll hear a voice and they'll just sound out the words. You gotta work harder on the black. Well, yes, I agree. To sound more black. I've been told I'm black. I remember in California, I was working at Kmart. We were all in the break room, and there were a lot of black people in the break room, and they said, "You're black, aren't you, Ed?" And I said, "I guess I am." Say, yeah, you black, you're black. But then there's California black, and then there's Georgia black, and then there's the Caribbean black, like the Jamaican. You can always tell where they came from. They try to talk. It's hard to shake the Jamaican accent, and the way they talk, and I guess I have to listen to an accent for a while, and then I can't help myself. One guy came up to me, my uncle's funeral. Okay, during my uncle's funeral, the guy walked up to me and said, I gave a speech, okay, at his wake. I think it was at his wake. Yeah, gave a speech, and the guy walked up to me and said, I like what you said. And I said, thank you. I didn't know that's the way he talked. Oops. But because I thought he was goofing around with me too. It's like, who talks like that? He does. I'm grateful every single day I'm not black. It's like, okay, parrot is the bird you are thinking of. That's right. But you know what? Ravens can also mimic people. I've watched them do it. Like if you say something, and cockatoos. Remember I was at, where was that place? Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. I went to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and this girl had a bird on her hand, and it could say truck, truck, you know. Some of them just have a limited vocabulary, but yeah, parrots, ravens. There's a lyrebird. I swear this guy went out into the woods and started playing his flute, and the lyrebirds started copying the song, and the lyrebirds are playing the song in the forest. Wouldn't that be cool? You play it out in the woods, and then all of a sudden the lyrebirds can sound exactly like a chainsaw, R2D2. You've seen those videos, haven't you? R2 sounds just like R2D2. I'm starting to feel the buzz come on. Your thoughts on George Droid? I do not know what that means. Your thoughts on the George Droid decaminate? Again, I have to strain to read such little letters. You ever read a contract? They say read the small print. You need to bust out not a telescope. You need to bust out one of those magnifying glasses so you can read each word. Sometimes I struggle. I struggle trying to read tiny print because I'm doing this from my phone, and my phone only has so much. No, thoughts in George Droid then. Who is George Droid? Are you in the UK? Because a lot of people they assume that I know what's going on there. They assume that I know what's common knowledge in the UK is not common here. Nah, from North Carolina. Okay. My brother just got back from South Carolina. I used to live in North Carolina, Camp Lejeune. That sounds very French. Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. That's where some of the Civil War was fought. North and South Carolina, North and South Dakota, I think. Oh, such a long time ago. That was when I was a little kid. My dad was stationed in North Carolina. I went to school on the military base. Oh man. It has just the right amount of carbonation. It's not quite like champagne, but you can tell the bubbles are there. And the heater comes on. Some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light. I'm always there. I won't let you out of my sight. I'll be there whenever you need. Forever and always, I'm always here. That's the Baywatch leering. The words to Baywatch, to the best of my knowledge. My mom watches Baywatch enough to where she has dreams. She had a dream one time that she was on the beach and she was running a race, and the Baywatch people were cheering her on. I don't know if I should share this, but it's like, wow, what a cool dream to have. I've had dreams where I was with celebrities, but they're those real vivid dreams. They call them not remote dreams. There's a word for it. Anyway, if I could remember that word. Not parallel dreams. I'm having trouble remembering right now. George Droid is pretty big here. Okay, in North Carolina. That's probably why. I've noticed each state has different celebrities. Lucid, that's the word. A lucid dream where you go, oh my God, is this really happening? Like you have a dream you're in a car accident, or you have a dream you committed a crime, or you have a dream you're in somebody's house. I've had dreams like that. I'm in somebody's house and I'm trying not to be seen. I'm trying to get out of the house and I can't seem to find my way out. I just want to leave that person's house. I think maybe those are past life regressions, or maybe it's telling you something. Dreams usually tell us things because our subconscious remembers things. I don't believe we should have a subconscious. I believe we should pay attention to what's deep in our minds. We would get through things better and faster if we didn't have to meditate to get ourselves to the point where we can hear our subconscious talk. Anyway, I'm kind of a deep guy. But David Hasselhoff in Germany, I hear in Germany he's a big deal. He's a singer in Germany. He was Knight Rider. I think she likes David Hasselhoff. She'll watch Knight Rider. She'll watch Baywatch. Starfighters or something like that. He was in a movie right around the time Star Wars came out. So it was kind of like a ripoff of Star Wars. Star something. Star Wars. I remember when I was a kid and I first heard the title Star Wars, I thought it would just be stars having a war. That's the way my mind pictured it. They should call it War Among the Stars. They are having a war among the stars. I think I got to pour peroxide in my ears again. Peroxide. I think my car might be cursed because they talk about evil eye. If you have a nice car, people will subconsciously wish evil on you. Like people, they won't intentionally put a curse on you. That's how I heard the evil eye works. They don't intentionally do it, but they have the desire for you not to do well in a certain way. So you do like this when you want to deflect the evil eye. Put your hand like this. You call it the Buddha palm or Buddha something, but it's it's supposed to deflect the evil eye. Also wearing this little eye. You wear this. It's got the blue eye, not the brown eye, but it looks like that. You get the idea. I don't know why it's not showing to the camera. Like that. Anyway, get yourself a little blue eye. They call it the evil eye, ironically. And I put a couple in my car because it's a nice car. And you know what? People can get, I've had a guy admit that he's jealous, but it's like, it's just a car. Dude. Yeah, they say that's how the evil eye can happen. People will just be mad that you're doing well, like your new business, your new marriage, your new life that you want to start. Somebody can become pissed or jealous that you're getting somewhere, and they don't even realize they're doing it. Some people just have the evil eye. That's why you got like a Wonder Woman deflector. You just go pshing, pshing. They say people die sooner than they should because of the evil eye. A rabbi was talking about that. Yeah, people die sooner because of the evil eye. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. I'm back down to one person, 5 likes, and my nightcap. Garlic seems to help too. Have a cute little clove of garlic and salt and brick dust. You get yourself a brick and you smash it and you sprinkle the brick dust around. That's what I've heard from some practitioners. You look Palestinian. How can I look Palestinian? I am European. I'm Scandinavian, British, Scottish, Irish, that region. I don't look like Palestinian. I don't spend that much time in the sun. Wanted to make sure I read that right. I've been told I look Jewish. I've had people tell me, you Jew, and stuff like that on my live stream. It's like, I'm not from Israel. I'm from parts unknown. Well, sorry. Am I correct that you were a vegan for 5 years? No. In fact, I had fish today. Salmon. I don't quite like the way Chili's prepares their salmon. I'm more like Ruby Tuesday. Ruby Tuesday. Oh, Ruby Tuesday has reupholstered their furniture. They fixed up their eating area. Because, man, it was coming apart. Just the upholstery had cuts and tears and wear marks. My mom and I went there a couple of days ago, and they really did a good job. Really? It was like, that fake leather. Pretty sure it was that fake leather. The pleather. They call it pleather. I guess it would cost a lot to kill that many animals, to kill them and make them into furniture. Okay, you are wearing a red t-shirt, so that tells me you are obsessed with death. Am I right so far? I wouldn't say obsessed. I don't understand why people are so afraid of death. I understand it can be brutal depending on how death is presented. Like if you're about to be beheaded or executed against a wall, But for the most part, we're so afraid of death, which I can't figure out. There's supposed to be a heaven. Sorry. There's a heaven that everybody believes that they're going to go to heaven, but they fight like hell to stay alive. It's like, hey, just give me the good drugs so I don't feel anything. I don't want to feel anything. I keep I'm reminded of Woody Allen. He said, I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens. Fair enough. I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there. Yeah. They say it's inevitable, but it hasn't happened to me yet. They say it's gonna happen, but to me, it hasn't happened. Just trying to get inside your head and understand what trauma you have been through, what I'm doing, what am I doing wrong, what I'm doing wrong. I guess you're interested. You have a curiosity, which I say is a sign of intelligence. Being curious, being open-minded, having a sense of humor. These are signs of intelligence. Talking to yourself is a sign of intelligence. I was watching a lot of those. Here's how to tell if you're intelligent. You know, some people have laughed themselves to death. So, can I ask if there's anything about your past that you would change? I think I would worry less. I would worry a lot less. Worry a lot less, yeah, and just focus on having a good time. Because I didn't really need to worry. The more I look back on my life, I had nothing to really worry about. I wasn't being chased. I wasn't being stalked. I never really had money problems. I just had to be patient where money was concerned. I would have been nicer to people. Because it's funny how when the older you get, the more you realize that it's good to be nice. It's good to be kind. It's good to not make trouble. Don't cause problems. It's like nothing exists unless you create it. If you're not creating problems, you don't have any. If you're not out there, and desiring things. Kind of like Buddha, he said the cause of suffering is desire. But then again, desire can be good. Desire is like your fuel, If you desire a good life, if you desire a girlfriend, if you didn't have desire, you'd be useless. Okay, worrying. I hear worrying too if you could travel back in time and meet any famous person, who would it be? Eddie, I got your email about the feet stuff. Feet stuff. Now let's get back on that. A famous person? I like to meet Marilyn Monroe. They say she had like a 160 IQ, and she seemed to have a good sense of humor. She sang, and as well as she was in a few movies, well known. It'd be nice just to meet her and talk with her for a while. Who else comes to mind? Yeah, Marilyn Monroe, maybe John Wayne. Yeah, people in the past, or Machiavelli. meet him and sit through one of his what are those called? A lecture, just listen to Machiavelli. That's his last name. I forget what his first name is. But it's like, man, I wish I knew Machiavelli when I was in high school. Monroe was cool. Eddie, are you naturally the way person in life? Are you naturally? Oh, I used to be really shy, but now it doesn't bother me too much to be in public, to talk to total strangers, as long as I don't feel awkward. But yeah, in school, when I was first starting out in school, I was, yeah, you could say most likely to cave in, most likely to have a panic attack. Yeah. But I didn't know because I guess I was really sensitive. I was a sensitive guy. But yeah, I guess this is a Q&A now. Cool. So what are your views on the LG? I think they need to relax a little bit. Quit putting their opinions, their views on other people. Get comfortable in your own skin first. But it's more like it's none of my business. I don't need to know what you're doing as long as you're not throwing rocks through my window, as long as you're not having me arrested. That's true. Would you describe yourself as a sometimes I've been told I can be controversial. Because like they say, well-behaved women rarely make history. So it's like, if you're behaving yourself all the time, you won't have any enemies. If you don't have any enemies, you probably aren't living. They say if you fall for everything, you'll stand for nothing. I think I have that backwards. If you fall for everything, you'll stand for nothing. It's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. It's better to die on your feet than live on your knees. Because they'll always ask you to bow lower. So can I ask you if it's okay to be fake to get more friends? I don't recommend that. Because sooner or later, people catch on. They'll catch on to the fact that you're not into Pokemon, that you're not into wrestling, that you're not into NASCAR. Sooner or later, it might work for a while to be a poser, to be an imposter. But I think people have that bullshit detector deep down. They go, this guy's just going along to get along. Just be your authentic self. And I think you'll start to find others that are like that. If you really are into wrestling, you're going to run into more people who are into wrestling. Or if you just like the Antiques Roadshow, you'll probably find more people. You said it's not okay to be fake. So what happens if you meet? Be aware. Yeah, just be aware that they're fake. And that way you can steer clear. They're called posers. They're just posers. They put a facade. They're actors, But then again, you have to ask, are they infiltrating? Are they trying to understand people who go to NASCAR and watch people just drive around in a circle, or square dancing. People are into line dancing, square dancing, being a hippie. I remember that in the 90s, the mid to late, early to mid 90s, people were just, they wore the round glasses, they wore the tie-dye shirts, the peace sign. And it's like, maybe that's the way they are for a while, and then they start to see their real identity. I think that's what it is. It's a search for your identity. And then you realize that's not my identity. I put on a biker vest. I ran with that crowd. I thought I was a biker. But then maybe I just like macrame. Maybe I like watching a good puppet show. Or just, you know, I don't know. I get too intense sometimes. So forgive me if I get too intense. Wash your face, uncle. That's good advice, Eddie. Well, what impresses you? What inspires you nowadays? Creativity. I love to see creativity and what people do with their leisure time. You know, like when they're not at work, when they're not being a lawyer, when they're not being a doctor, you know, their authentic self. Wash your face, uncle. Bikers would be cool if they had capes. Did you know samurai? They had capes, and it was to stop arrows. The cape would cause a bubble behind them, and if people shot arrows to their backs, this parachute would catch arrows. That's a fun fact. They did a show. They showed that really works. If a samurai is on a horse and he's got this silk parachute coming off of his back, it stops arrows. So you could probably do that, you know, during Halloween. You've got one of those dinosaur costumes that inflate. Somebody could throw a rock and it would just bounce off. Just think of things like that. You can have what they call air armor. I like creativity. I can ask what, can I ask what your biggest fears are in life? Fears. I think I've overcome most of my fears, but what Nikola Tesla said, you may live to see man-made horrors beyond your comprehension. And I start thinking about our government, you know, things they're willing to do to their own people. That scares me. That's what scares me. What the American government is willing to do to their own soldiers, and even more to their enemies. You know, like Agent Orange. If you look into Agent Orange, that fucks you up for generations. That turns your children into mutants, which is unnecessary. But and also funnel web spiders. I'm glad they're not here. Funnel web spiders, they attack you. If they become agitated, they'll come after you. They don't run away like other spiders. I like creativity. Can I ask? Oh, okay. I just read that. I wish you could mark as read. That would be so nice. If you could delete as you go on, like after I read something, if I could just delete it. Tesla was cool, Eddie. Notice you are sitting on a black chair. Did you choose a black because you are in morning. No, this is a green chair. It's anyways, you can't really see it, but it's an outdoor chair. I guess I'm mourning my mother-in-law passed away. I guess because in marriage, of course. Yeah, on my brother's side, I guess you can say his mother-in-law. His mother-in-law passed away at like 94 years old. So when I hear about a death, I want to mourn it, especially if I knew the person, firsthand. We celebrated a couple of Christmases at her house, and I'm also mourning my car. I wish I could just blow up my car. I would love to do that. Just get one of. You remember seeing Outlaw Josie Wales? And he had that Gatling gun. I like to just throw open a cloth on a wagon and just start cranking the Gatling gun and just blow the hell out of that car. Sorry about your mother-in-law. What type of music? I like lately 70s music. I grew up in the 70s, and Super Freak, I think that was a 70s song. Thing. I believe in miracles. Where you from, you sexy thing? That song, and then Car Wash, Rubber Band Man. Yeah, I grew up with some of those songs. But I like metal. I mean, metal is one of my go-to. Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, Wasp, Striper, and Rammstein. They sound pretty metal. Rammstein and Guar. Oh yeah, there's lists. Don't even get me started. I like you do classic rock. Okay. Are you a good dancer? You know what? I think I can be. If I'm dancing in the right crowd or if the right song comes on. There was a song when I was at Chili's today. There was a song. It sounded like a sailor song. And there was a lot of like disco sounds to it. And I couldn't help but dance while I was in my booth. Who is that behind you? Good question. Who is that? The smiley face? Got a smiley face there. Well, I'm sorry if I close up shop. It's time for me. It's bedtime for me. Bedtime for Bonzo. Thank you for being up with me. What time is it? Oh, wow. It's almost midnight. After midnight, we gonna shake, jump, and shout. Eddie, it's been nice. Interview. Oh, wow. Thank you. Yeah. We'll have to do this more. Get inside my psychology. Or just, yeah, it's nice to do that. Maybe I can ask you some questions. Yeah. And you know what? That can be a job for you. Interviewing people like Dick Cavett, like Johnny Carson. Yeah, you could be up there, man. Until next time, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I think I hit the button. It went dark. It went dark. There we go. All right.